What's up, guys? Class is in session today, and today we've got a really cool video for you. As Luis said, over the next few days, weeks, whatever, we're going to be taking a look at the reveals for Dragon Ball Super Set 13 Supreme Rivalry. It actually looks really interesting. We're getting a lot of new characters that haven't quite been introduced yet. We're getting some really cool archetypes, as Luis showed you last week with the Green King Cold deck. That's going to be a very interesting and very fun archetype to be to play around with and mess around with, as green is just a strong color. But today we're going to be talking about my archetype of choice, which is going to be yellow Gohan. So without further ado, let's hop into it. So to start out, we're going to start by taking a look at the leader of this archetype. It is a yellow Sun Gohan with 10k power on the front side. It has an auto that when this card attacks, you draw a card. So that's always good, right? Leaders that draw on their front side is great. And then auto burst 3, when one of your yellow battle cards with the blocker skill is KO'd, you draw 2 cards, then add cards from your life to your hand until you have 6 left in life. And flip this card over. So it's a weird mix between Vegito and Topo, and I actually really like that. I think it's a really good optional self-awaken, and it gives you a little bit more leniency, and it really flows well with the archetype, as we'll see later. And then its awaken, its base awaken is when your life is at 4 or less, you may draw 1 card, switch up to 1 of your energy to active mode, and flip this card. So it's a hybrid awaken, which is also really nice. And then on the back side, we get this sick art. I want this foil so bad. When this card attacks, you draw 1 card, then you choose one of your yellow Trunks future cards, and it gets plus 5k power and critical for the turn. So right then and there, you're drawing a card and you're buffing up one of your Trunks cards, which is going to be very important, as we'll see here in a second. And then a secondary auto is you choose one of your mono yellow Trunks future cards, and when your opponent attacks, you switch the card to active mode, and it gets plus 6k power for the turn, and then you negate the skill for the turn. So it's once per turn, but you get to choose when you do it, which is really nice. And then as we take a look down here, this is the unison that comes with the archetype, SS Trunks Altering the Future. It's a 3-cost unison with 20k power and base dual attack. And then it's plus or minus 0. You choose one of your opponent's battle cards, switch it to rest mode, and if it has an energy cost of 4 or less, you negate its skill for the turn and KO it. I love this effect because it allows you to have spot removal, which yellow doesn't really do very well. We saw a little bit of it with the Whis archetype, but now we're really starting to see more of that kind of spot removal thing with yellow, and I think it's a great thing for the deck, and I think it's a very good ability that yellow has now. And then activate main minus 3, you draw a card, and then you choose all of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO them. So that's also really good. That gives you giant board wipe. Yellow is known for putting cards in rest mode, and when you throw things like Bergamo in, Zamasu super combo, all of these different things, it allows you to keep your opponent's things in rest mode, which then allows you to use this activate main really efficiently. And so now here we're going into the core of the deck. We've got SS Son Goku, a trusted ally. It's a 2-drop 10k. Auto, when this card is played, you choose up to one of your mono yellow Trunks future cards with an energy cost of 3 or less in rest mode, and you switch it to active mode. That's a very good skill, because it allows you to restand your blockers, which we'll see here in a second. And then activate battle for 1 yellow. If you have a yellow Trunks future card with an energy cost of 3 or more in play, you play this card from your hand, and you can't play copies of the turn. So what you do is you activate, so you block with it, you activate battle, you pay it, you block with the Trunks future, activate battle, pay a yellow, play this guy, restand that Trunks future that you use to play this guy, and it's just a phenomenal cycling effect. This is going to be a really good card in the next set. SS Son Goku, the Hero Returns. It is a 2-drop 10k as well. When this card is played, you choose this card and up to one of your opponent's battle cards and it got to 3 or less, and send them to their owner's warps. At the end of the turn, negate the skills of all cards sent to the warps by this skill for the turn and play them to their owner's battle areas. So we saw a little bit of this in Red Broly, kind of, where you are sending cards to the warp. We also saw this, if you remember, back in set 7 with the hit archetype, the 2-drop hit that allowed you to do this for when you played it. It was a really good effect, and I really enjoyed that archetype, so this is very reminiscent of that. Activate battle. If you have a yellow Trunks future card with an energy cost of 3 or more in play, you play this card from your hand and you can't play copies. So the same effect as this card as well, just you can do it for free, and it gives you some board removal. And then we have SS Gohan Desperate Last Stand. So it's a 2-drop 10k as well. It has the keyword blocker skill. Auto, if your leader card is a yellow Son Gohan future card, when this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill or activates its blocker skill, you play up to 1 yellow Trunks future card with an energy cost of 1 from your deck, and then you shuffle your deck. So that is actually really good, because it allows you to search and play, which is phenomenal. And then we have our 1-drop. Here's one of our 1-drops. It's a 1-drop 4K, and then if your leader card is played, or if your leader card is yellow, when this card is discarded from your hand by an opponent's skill, you play this card from your drop area. When this card is played, you draw 1 card. So if you're playing hand control, this card is phenomenal because you just pitch it and play it, which is great. And then you draw a card. And as long as you have this card in your hand, you can consistently do this. So it's just, I think this is going to be really good 3 or 4 of in this deck, because it's just a 1-drop cantrip. And then if you need to, you can pitch it and play it. And then we have our other 1-drop. If your life is, it's a 1-drop Son Gohan with 4k power. When your life is at 6 or less, it gains blocker. And then auto, if your leader card is a Son Gohan future card, and you place 1 card in your drop area from your life, when this card is played, you play up to 1 yellow Trunks future card with an energy cost of 1 from your deck, and then you shuffle your deck. So this again allows you to do the same thing that your that the other Son Gohan did as well, up here, and it's just so you just constantly get that recursion and you get to play these things from your deck. And then we have SS Vegeta Trusted Ally. It is a 2-drop 10k unique critical. When this card is played, you choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and it costs 3 or less in rest mode and KO it. Again, we're seeing yellow allowed to get, allowing itself to be able to kill things in rest mode, which is great. And it's allowing us to be able to clear boards and allow us to do things like that we didn't have in the past, and play more control mid-range like yellow wants to do. And then activate battle for 1 yellow. If you have a yellow Son Gohan or a yellow Trunks future card with energy cost of 3 or more in play, you play this card from your hand. You can't play copies of this card for the turn. Again, we see that activate battle again, and I think that's going to be a very integral part in this archetype. And I'm very excited to see how these cards will work into it. And then we have our big boss monster. It's a 8-drop Trunks Mightborn of Hope. Double strike, barrier, dual attack, blocker. That's a lot of keywords. You can evolve on top of a Trunks future card for 4 energy. It's a 30k. Activate main once per turn. If this card's in rest mode, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and switch up to 1 of their energy to rest mode. And the chosen cards can't be switched to active mode until the end of your opponent's next turn. That right there is great. It locks your opponent out. It allows you to keep your opponent's things tapped, and it allows you to do things like that and keep controlling the game even in the later stages of the game. Now we're starting to get into our Trunks futures. We've got SS Trunks to change the future. It's a 3-drop 20k barrier blocker. That is awesome. Evolve for 1 energy onto a Trunks future card. Activate main for 2 energy if your leader for 2 yellow energy. If your leader card is a yellow Son Gohan future card and you have 4 more mono yellow energy, choose up to 1 mono yellow Trunks future card with an energy cost of 8 in your hand. Play it on top of this card in active mode, and you can't activate the activate main skill on this copies for the turn. So this allows you to cheat out that 8-drop Trunks future, and that is great. I really like this because paying 4 for it was good, but paying 2 for it is even better. And then we come down here, we've got our 1-drop Trunks. Trunks Warrior of Hope, unique. When one of your yellow Sun Gohan future cards is KO'd by an opponent's attack or removed from your battle area by one of their skills, play up to one Trunks future card with an energy cost of 3 from your deck on top of this card, then you shuffle your deck. So if you use the blocker skill on one of your Gohans, you block with it, it dies, this card's auto procs, and then you play the Trunks on top of it, which is absolutely great. Then you've got Piccolo. Deflect blocker. When this card is played from your hand, choose up to one yellow Sun Gohan Childhood or Sun Gohan future card with energy cost of 2 or less in your deck or hand and play it, then shuffle your deck if you look through it. This is another searcher. Just another free card that gets played. Is still a good card. It is a little expensive though, but it does have deflect, so that's good. Here we've got the extra cards that go with the deck. Ferocious Awakening, counterattack for 1 yellow energy. You choose up to one of your yellow Trunks future battle cards in active mode, and it gains revenge for the turn. And that's really good because you can counterattack. And then you can activate battle, or then you can give Trunks future revenge, and then you can block with it because it doesn't actually negate the attack. And then activate battle for 1 yellow energy. You choose one of your yellow Trunks future cards, switch it to active mode, and it gets plus 15k power and has its skills negated for the turn. So it gets rid of blocker, but it becomes a 15k body, and you can do this on your turn. If you are going for game with that 8 drop, it becomes a 45k body. Which is really good. And then the future is in your hands. For 1 energy counterattack, you negate the attack. And then activate battle. Choose this card in your drop area and 1 card in your hand and send them to the warp. Then you choose one of your mono yellow Trunks future battle cards, and it can't be KO'd by your opponent's attacks for the battle. It's okay. I don't think it's that strong. I think there's a better negate for this deck than this card. But I think that it could potentially do some damage and do some things, but we'll have to find out. And then down here is the good generic yellow card that we are getting. I feel like this card is going to be a staple in every yellow deck going forward, possibly. Counterattack for 1 energy, negate the attack. And then permanent, if you have 1 or more mono yellow energy in active mode, you can activate this card's activate battle skill from your hand without paying its energy cost. And that is really good. That allows you to just play it for free. And then activate battle, if your leader card is mono yellow, you draw 1 card so it replaces itself. And then you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards and switch it to rest mode. And you can't activate the activate battle skill on this copy of the turn. So this is just a Zamasu super combo for free. And that is great because it allows you to tap down unison cards if there's a unison threatening you, like Jiren or Broly or anything like that, and you can do it for free. It also allows you to tap down threatening battle cards that don't have barrier. So that's absolutely phenomenal for just yellow in general, guys. So that's the video. I hope you guys like this archetype as much as I do. I think it's going to be a very strong yellow deck going forward. I still think Mecha is going to be there, and I still think Mecha is definitely the top dog, but I think this could be a very close contender, and it's a very interesting archetype, I think. And I think with some of the good yellow stuff, it could actually do some damage. But let us know if you guys want us to go over androids or any of the other colors coming out. We'll be happy to do that for you. Just leave us a comment down below, and we'll get to it as soon as we can. But that's all for us today, guys. Make sure to like our video. It really does help us out. It's a free way to do it. And make sure to subscribe. We really could use it. And it helps us make content for you guys. So, like always, we're praying for you, and class is dismissed.